And welcome back. Picking where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, which is basically the beginning of a turn. I accidentally just hit the start turn button prior to the turn, so basically the beginning of round 218. We had an incident with boldness. We're going to discipline the leader here. At some point I should go around and do a sort of purge in place on the leaders, I think. You want commerce to hit 56 or 59. It's probably just happening, so we'll accept that it's going to happen. Make it happen, and then we'll work on making it not happen anymore. Heal the quack doctor, critical success, it's no problem. Yeah, we'll allow them to invest.
Yes,
Take
sir.
that commerce points. Take the enforcement here. Oil's down, food's down. That's not really helping with our logistical issues for whatever. Oh, we had petrol issues going out to places, which isn't great. Shouldn't affect the port, but it might affect things. If we're having issues getting points out to the port itself from a truck standpoint. Okay. So I need more petrol. And metal apparently is going to be the way I'm going to have to generate that petrol.
Affirmative.
So we're going to slow down construction. It's a side effect. Buy a bunch of fuel.
Affirmative.
Which isn't going to be enough fuel. Okay. What's the state of our mining reserves? Not empty, so we're not in a rush. Though the rare metal mine is getting low. And the Moncron... Well, the Moncron oil well, when that one runs out, it's actually empty this time. So we're not going to be too worried about it. Same with the Collins oil well. When it runs out again, it's empty. Quartzlopes oil well is not. Okay, let's go ahead and play a... peripheral mining here.
Affirmative.
Don't think we got lucky. No, we haven't been lucky yet. Our demands, get commerce up, get our leaders up. So we need to hire 3 leaders. Corp scientist is not a bad choice. Probably 2 talents.
Order received. Order received.
Okay. Oops, moved one too many, but that'll be fine. Back, and then we'll move one back that way. That spare one there, and these guys can just go like so. Taking territory. At some point, we may contemplate trying to actually get rid of these guys. Would probably prefer not to necessarily do... Well, the mercs would probably handle it decently well, because the mercs are supposedly twice as powerful as them, but still pretty large numbers. It's not what I want. Priorities is the balance between those two. Could relieve him, but that's not what we're looking for. Actually, this is something I could do. Let's not have you send those out.
Affirmative.
Not that it's going to make a big difference, but that does mean save up a little bit of balance. Prospecting shouldn't be anything to really discover at this point, unless we get real lucky. Looked at the mining recently. Construction, we finished the barracks, so that should help there. Work on the solar fields. It's the wet zone. Got a bunch of guys with low opinion that we should probably deal with. Is treasury net in or net out? It's net in, probably. Yeah, but like 400, we're barely making money. Okay. Kind of looking for something, and I'm not remembering exactly where it is. There is a way, and I'm forgetting the way to do it. A way to adjust the priorities on where to send. Send receive priorities. There it is. Unanimate. Okay. Let's try that. That may help. Yeah, let's try those changes. See if that's fixing my problems. And then let's go around to, because we got some political power. You, strat card, we got ability to give you a bonus. And an official gift. It's better. Better. We'll cycle. And see if that was the change I needed to do. If that was the change I needed to do, I probably needed to do that a while ago, and I've been making life harder for myself. I just... because I think if I'm interpreting what I saw in that panel correctly, that's how much of the supply can be assigned. So basically by adjusting that slider, I've said, okay, you can use more than 120 or 100% of supply, which obviously doesn't work, because it already defaults to splitting it up in a way where you can use all the supply, right? But by doing it that way, then if I need far more to go to a particular thing, then it can go to that thing, and hopefully we'll fix stuff a little bit better. Yep, we got coming behind us, which isn't super surprising. 6 decisions. We got the 40 liters. And the rocketry, work on missiles. And at least as far as that's concerned, that is not quite doing it. No out shipping. Not sure if it takes more than a turn to update. So everything's moving there. But of course, the capital makes sense. Everything's moving, everything's moving. Everything's moving. Yep, yep, yep. It's just the shipping line stuff that isn't working. Shipping lines are saturated in theory. Yeah, I'm finding that weird as well.
Affirmative.
Copy that.
Copy that.
Yes, sir.
Well, I would have expected there to be an option to expand the exotic, or the rare one, but okay.
Roger that.
I'm also surprised that we're getting nothing from these places, which is weird. Oh! Ah, I see what I screwed up. Click, click, click. We'll see if that does. Gotta hit the update button, though, it doesn't take. Then demand-wise, needing commerce up to 59, commerce is at 55. Do I have any logic? I don't think it's commerce. Could you push? Feeling it's heart. Let's go around and prove some counselor opinions. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thinking you hit a button and then not doing it is a annoyingly common thing sometimes.
Order received. Order received. Order received. Order received. Order received.
Alright, we actually spent a little bit of parts there. That's what we're gonna have. And let's see if that update takes and fixes my problems. flanks around us yet? No, not quite. Oh, no, I wasn't dealing with the... Forgot to move the units on that flank. Whoops. Killed 300 infantry, have 5 decisions. On the bottom round, 220. Complete our high velocity guns. And now that's not showing 100% green. And okay, well, in many ways, I think that may have made it worse. Worse and better. Well, now it's at least showing that we're zoned SHQ is being allocated, so stuff is flowing. Okay, 1.6 thousand metal flowed to the capital. So we got a petrol shortage, but that's much more manageable with metal coming in. So what I did not realize, and I suppose this is a thing to remember for the future, is that apparently the SHQ settings don't have zone pickup on either airbridge or sea on by default. So because of that, nothing was able to come back from the other continents because we only had zone drop-off. So the zones could ask for things, but they couldn't send things back, which... now that I know that was what the problem was, is both a little weird that that's the default behavior, and makes the whole situation make a lot more sense for why it wasn't working.
Yes, sir. We're definitely
Still medics. Okay. Just didn't have the recon that time to figure out where they were. Okay. Okay, so that island's advancing. Metal should now be coming in droves. It's fine. It's fine. Well, I think by default the game spawns you on more Pangea maps, so that's sort of... Do you want those routes to be shipping? Well, if they're your, like, pair-drop routes and stuff like that, you wouldn't normally expect stuff to be coming back on them. Or naval landing routes, you wouldn't expect stuff to be coming back on them. But, this is a map where I gotta have stuff come back on them, so it's just a weird map, as far as the game's concerned. So in this case, it's battle dress time. Battle dress time. Should develop a walker. Polymer armor? No, we'll stick with suit plating.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Okay, and I kind of overassigned stuff to shipping that way. So SHQ. Let's go a little bit back down so that some supplies I can actually get out to the army, the front. As much as we want all that metal, we would like other things to not starve. And our max energy storage is 136, which actually is not super great. Can I see if my outflow-inflow is balanced? Easily. I think there's a way here to check that. SHQ. What do I have to check it on a per city basis? Per city basis should be a little annoying. So you produce power, or no, you don't make any or consume any power. You produce more than you consume. You produce more than you consume. You consume more, but not by much. It's balanced. Produce. Anyway, so other than our power stockpile being, like, non-existent, we should be able to actually consume more power. So let's say heavy industry can go wake up to full power. Start producing us this stuff. Expand the demineralization plant. I would probably regret it right now building that power plant because we don't quite have the petrol. Could go deep core gas. Yeah, let's get our basic industry going. So we'll do some deep core gas, some ammunition.
Order received.
We got plenty of health here, but let's go ahead and increase the security, education, and entertainment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here needs all of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And here needs all of them as well.
Understood. 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 Understood.
I think I'm going to hold on to the political power for the turn. We'll see how the zones respond to the construction's changes being made. Yeah, that would be one way to do it, but none of my colonies are necessarily really good for independent action. The only rare metal source we have was on the main island. Really, the annoying thing is that we weren't having the metal transfer across, which is one of the reasons we're so behind on supplies, I suppose, because we were able to just tell the local zones to eat off the food off of the local production. Okay, so obviously as we have our logistics come back across the shipping routes, logistics is going to be strained to Kingdom coming back, but I think it will recover pretty quickly. Ah, there's our Blade Friendship. By adjusting it, we are now getting food out to the troops, which is what we want to see. Let's see, is the SHQ having anything sent? It is. Okay, so we're just gotta wait for everything to catch up. Yep, so that stockpile's going down. 4.6 thousand went out, so that's good to see. You're asking for tax reduction?
Order
No.
received.
Tempted to get the commerce for the demand, but no. Qual going up, qual going... Well, will be going up. We'll be going up more quicker, sooner. Oops. There. And qual in theory is going up slowly as well. That security is not going up particularly quickly. But that's because we're having work issues. Capital's looking fine. We'll probably raise the capital after we get everywhere else fixed. Capital otherwise is going to be working on building industry. Industry and more industry, please. Construction reports. Things are being delayed, but I think they're mostly being delayed to lack of capacity to hire workers quickly. In fact, metal is still upward trending, simply just from the influx of metal, so we're not worried from a metal standpoint. Worried from just, can we get the workers to hire quickly enough?
Yes, sir. We're going in. Mission successful.
Okay, so they retreated back into the ocean, which isn't perfect.
Yes, sir. We're definitely taking gunfire. Mission successful.
Nope. I would have actually preferred to have
Yes, sir.
caused
we're definitely
damage.
taking gunfire. Run!
No man's there.
Yes, sir. We're definitely taking
There's nomads
gunfire.
there.
Run! Run! Run!
Finding the nomads the hard way, which is face planting into them, yeah. Okay, so we're at the point where if we want to take more nomad territory, we probably need to actually declare one of the nomads. And or send over more troops. Though with how the shipping routes look right now, sending over more troops is a no-go until our stockpiles ship. They're shipping, just we gotta wait for them to ship. Which is in its own way a significant improvement over where we were. Oh no, no! I think we had the iron mine here for 30, 40, 50 turns. Like, had I realized that I needed to do that toggle, we'd solved the metal problem a lot earlier. Yeah, that might have been the difference between actually already winning the game by now. Had I realized that was the problem. Again, this is my first time both doing maritime trading houses and air bridging. So both those default to off. I didn't realize that. So that's a new thing for me. I screwed up. Won't do that again. Yeah, at this rate, that's going to take 5 turns. So in 5 turns, everything's delivery-wise might be back to normal. We'll see. Got a bunch of political power. We have that plea of friendship, so we play the plea of friendship.
Roger that.
And then Shadow Diplomat on the Foreign Affairs Counselor.
Roger that.
And do we have a advisor attached to the Foreign Affairs Counselor? That would be cabinet. No. Okay. And then offer protection. Need to roll a 282. We got a base of 204 plus a D100.
Roger that.
And success. Okay, so decent possibility of the next couple turns we will integrate Lime Top Clan over here, which would then allow us to inherit their 164,000 population, which will definitely take us a quick hop, skip, and a jump towards victory. Okay. We like it to see it when the local wildlife attack us. Killed 100, got a decision. Minos to level 5. No.
Yes, sir.
The civilization score there... Okay, the civilization score there is acceptable. But we don't want to push it down at the moment. I'd like it to be up before we screw with it anymore. Strat card, minor. Offering client synth's probably going to be too hard. Yeah. So we're going to go straight from Protectorate to Unification, which is a unlikely die roll. So we got 131 versus... Oh, 131 plus a D100 versus 3 D100 and a 33. So... basically a 99... D199 versus 3 D100s. The D100s sort of cancel out, so it's 2 D100 versus 99. Expectation there is failure, but not all rolls fail. And this is one where I don't think there's any penalty for critically failing.
Roger that.
Yeah, no penalty for critically failing. So we failed, but okay, but there's no penalty for failing. So we're just going to try every turn until we succeed. And the expectation is failure, but the spread leaves like a third of the spread is success, so it's non-zero success. Got a little low on petrol. Might need to import a bit of petrol while we're trying to cover the issues here. We got an oil well about to run out, but not much we can do about that. Rare metal mine, it's going to potentially run out, so what's low here? Let's call you up. Actually, no, it's not call you up, it's strat card you. Zone peripheral mining in the capital.
Affirmative.
For the rare metal mine. Well, I don't think at this point we're not going to play You're a Liar. Definitely not playing Lab Leak. Paranoia's Cause... We're not going to might play those two at some point, which is why we're going to hold on to them. I suppose the question is anyone actually available that we can play that on? That we wouldn't mind playing it on. No, we don't want to play on the governor. The Supreme Command Council. Drop the charisma on one of the generals? Yeah, let's do that. Fell down a maintenance shaft and booped the head. Same thing.
Roger
You don't
that.
need your intelligence. Second is a bunch of fate points. Don't necessarily have anything I would necessarily want to spend those fate points on right away, but collecting them for the moment is its own perks. Okay, nation. The Grand Council?
Order
Yeah, let's do
received.
some Grand Councils. Get some XP spread out across
Order
everyone.
received.
Oh, I forgot to buy petrol. You might have some petrol-related issues on the following turn. Okay, squids have come back ashore, so we can take another swing at them. Steal around. 2, 2, 3, 7 decisions.
Roger that.
Okay, petrol went up, but I don't necessarily know if that was because we bounced off the floor, or if we actually had it
Roger
go
that.
up. Do nothing for now, and every once in a while I'll generate
Yes,
a
sir.
gladiator.
Yes, sir.
We actually want commerce to go up for the demand, so I'm going to do the refuse
Order
and
received.
buy him some beer. And extend. No, I don't know why the rare metal mine didn't pop up. Should have shown the rare metal mine here. Well, go ahead and expand that oil well. We'll make it lower quality, but it'll still expand it. Slowing down a little bit. Don't necessarily know if that's a bad thing. I don't think it is a bad thing.
Yes, sir. We're going in.
Okay, that one's dealt with. Let's try to encourage this one to come aground by giving it a place to come aground. So we can actually catch it and deal with it.
Yes, sir. We're going in. Mission successful.
Construction-wise, how's the construction improving? Bleeding the ammunition factory. Okay. Soil demetallization plant is going at the speed it's going at, probably due to worker shortages. Yeah, worker shortages look to be the problem there. You got 700 of your so-and-so worker points, okay. Deep core extractor went at speed. Everything else is trickling along because we're having quality of life issues in those zones, but as those zones improve, that should fix itself. Granted, part of what we're doing this is specifically to increase those quality of life, so when they get done, they'll be in a much better position. So the barracks is the only one that isn't going to finish next turn here. At this rate, we probably need 2 more turns here. This one's the one that's going to be the farthest behind, probably. Might still be 2 more turns there. Okay, let's play that unification attempt.
Roger that.
And then we would like some more money. You drop loyalty 10. You drop loyalty more than 10. Okay, let's play the more expensive one because it only drops it by 10 on the capital.
Order received.
Failure effect is halved. Oh, that was barely a payday. Maybe we'll try the emergency tax. The capital.
Order received.
There we go. That's a better payday. With that, we can buy petrol to make sure there is adequate fuel in the fuel tanks.
Affirmative.
Okay. We'll see how that works. Worst case scenario, we might actually turn the air bridge off in a couple turns, just to save on petrol. The bridging attempts. And that's stable. In fact, that's saying we got another petrol deposit up there. We get the construction. Let's build a road. Nice road to nowhere. We'll see if everything remains stable. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and run the end turn here. Victory status-wise, we haven't necessarily gained very much because I've been pretty stagnant due to trying to sort out what was wrong with the logistic issues of the stream. But now that I've got that sorted out, we should start having the resources we need to actually fix and improve everything. Now that, well, basically we're getting a massive influx of metal that's maybe not sustainable because it was only like 400 metal a turn that we were generating, and it's going to stay 400 metal a turn. But that should allow us to build some more demilitarization plants. Or demilitarization plant? I always forget the... Yeah, demilitarization plant. Which we can technically build. We'll probably build on the capital island where we can run it by railroad, but build on the main island and get a lot more logistics that way, metal that way and stuff. So cycle one more turn. See that everything is still continuing to improve. And if so, we may start contemplating trying to bring over some professional army units to deal with the nomads. Because we can deal with the nomads, then we can take that whole island over and just leave the mercs as sort of a standing deal with the squids problem solution. And the extra territory plus, well, eventually we're going to get that unification off, and that's probably going to give us a lot of people, which will give us a lot of victory score. It'll probably be a bit sudden, too. If we get it on the next turn, because I got to save well, during a turn I've got to save. So I can't save on this screen, for example. We're going to enter into round 2, 2, 4. We're going to do the most obvious things during the turn. And then we're going to go ahead and probably end this part here. So that is fine. Zone, getting some of the demands. This worker strikes are almost away. It's just do diplomacy if you've got the money, or do autocracy if you can't. Okay, we still have petrol problems. Maybe an argument to stop the air bridge, because the air bridge is pretty petrol hungry, I think. $11, almost 12 fuel per hex expended to do the bridging. So yeah, they're eating 100 fuel each. Well, for 3, and the 9s are going to be doing 3 times that, right? So yeah, 300 something fuel a turn. So if I stop the air bridge, we'd save the fuel, and we don't have the fuel problem anymore. Would, of course, make it so we wouldn't be improving the metal problem as quickly, but I think we can handle it. So let's actually end our air bridge. We'll still have the assets that if we need to do it again later, we can, but I think now that we know how it works, we probably don't need to do that unless we are losing the contract with the shipping company. And then if we got the money, let's buy petrol to try to fix the petrol situation temporarily.
Affirmative.
Don't really like paying 5k for that much petrol, but we are. Construction-wise, the University and the VidCon in-cons are complete. I think we worked out that we only need to do that one level, so once those actually kick in and provide the quality of life bonus, we should be sitting around 100, actually. Quality of life. So then it's just waiting for the quality, or waiting for the civilization to catch up with the qual. Yeah, so we're just waiting for the civilization to catch up to the qual. There, I think. And then we'll see. Probably won't be this turn we get the unification, but eventually this will hit.
Roger that.
Yeah, didn't hit that turn. I'd have to do the math. I think it's something like 51, 52 sort of this percentage that we're just failing is the expected result. So, it's a little worse than coin flip every time we roll for that. So eventually we'll hit it, but it's not going to happen probably until I least expect it to happen, and then it will happen immediately. So with that, I hope everyone has been enjoying. If you've been watching along and maybe learning with me, because I did not until now, well, this is the first time I've done airbridging. This is the first time I've done maritime trading houses in this game. So I did not know that you have to go toggle an option on to pick up from zones using those. So if this is your first time learning that, well, we've both learned. It's not your first time learning that. And I think I've mostly been responding to the comments, so it would have been nice for you to leave me a comment, but I don't think anyone else has caught what was going on either. With that, we should be in a position to actually be a little bit more successful. Not 100% sure how many victory points the city is over here is going to be worth. We know they've got, well, their population's gone up. They've basically got 1,700 population. So they've got as many, they've got more people than our capital, right? Our capital is not a trivial city. Minos is actually our biggest city, but that's because its quality of life is apparently decent for not being the capital. So yeah, that's going to be a big boost to our victory points, mainly in population. I would not be surprised. I'm not going to mentally do the math here, but I'll not be surprised if that like 8% of the planet or something. I don't know how many people we have on the planet right now. Overview? No, wrong. That's how the planet is, not how the population of the planet is. I don't know if there's a quick way to check what the population, well, here, probably on here somewhere. There we go. So I currently have economy view. We've got a population of just short of 700,000 people. 700,000 people is giving us a victory score from population of 32.7. So 7 divided by 3. Well, divided by 30. And then times 2. Try to do the mental math in my head. So 14 divided by 3. Okay, so it's gonna be like 5-6%. So yeah, that's gonna bring us up to just short of 30%. Not quite winning, but it's also gonna give us some planet as well. I'm not gonna figure out how many points we're gonna win. So we'll find out in probably, well, maybe the next part, maybe the part after. It depends on how long it takes us to naturally roll unification with Limtop here. But Limtop should give us a bunch of people. And apparently they've got civilization scores, so people will very happily move to that town or stay in that town. Whereas we've got other zones we need to improve. And we are improving, so we're gonna see this one. Hopefully quality life rapidly improves here. Similarly here. Similarly over here, though the building's taking a little bit longer over here. Because it's already so bad there. That one will probably finish next turn. And this one we're just waiting on the barracks here to come. The barracks end it to effect, right? It takes time to actually apply to the civilization score. We may at some point want to come around to the capital and actually push the capital up to 100. But I think we at least want to push everything up to like 50, 60 before we come back to the capital to fix the capital. Yeah, well, they haven't exactly cut down all the trees. They've cut down all the trees within like 3 tiles of their farms. So it's not quite, because they got a nice wilderness preserve on the border between me and them. Assume you're talking about Lime Top in your Twitch comments there. Yeah, that's the arrow of the agricultural spread on the farms. So yeah, with that, hope everyone has been enjoying. If you're watching on YouTube, believe by the time you're listening to this, I don't know how far I'll be ahead, but prior to this recording session, I was about 8 parts ahead. So by the time you're listening to this, because I only recorded 4 parts today, we'll probably be only 7 parts ahead, but with 7 parts ahead with a 5-day cycle, I should get around to recording the next set of parts before this part goes up. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can probably expect there to be another part tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, the plan right now is to record Shadow Empire again in 5 days. And I suspect if we can get everything to work, there is a decent possibility that we win in the next session. Because once we get the unification off, we're probably going to jump up to 30. Belzier, I think it's Belzier. Belzier here is willing to do a victory pact. So we're basically sitting around 40, so it's just finding the last 10 or so victory points worth of planet and people. And then we could probably just get a negotiated victory, and whether or not we push on to the true victory at that point is going to be more complicated. So until the next stream, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.